It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. We take your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. And if you want to watch us on YouTube, it's not a video, it's just an audio file with little dancing waveforms. You can do a Google on the YouTube, search KABC News Blitz. You have by now heard of the Rite Aid in Compton that has decided to lock up everything in the store. I want to hear from you at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Simple question. If the pharmacy in your neighborhood decides to lock up every product in the store and you have to hit a buzzer and call an employee over to get anything in the store, will you still be shopping there? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. If your local pharmacy locks up everything in the store, are you still shopping there? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. We certainly have come a long way. It was just a year ago we were talking about the Walgreens in San Francisco that was using chains to lock up the fridges that had frozen pizza because people were stealing frozen pizza and ice cream. Then earlier this year in Sacramento, we had a Target that was locking up the underwear and socks, which is where this gem came from.
How ghetto does it look that they have to lock up the socks?
And now we have come to the point where there is a Rite Aid in Compton that is locking up the entire store. You might be going in for a toothbrush. You need an employee. You might be going in because you need Tylenol. You need to hit that buzzer. You might be going in because you need some relief from cramps. You got to go in and talk to an employee. You might be needing some marital aids. You might be needing some condoms. Can't buy that secretly anymore. No, 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 no. Everything in the store except for the drinks, you have to get an employee to open it up from the case for you. My question to you, 800-222-KABC. If your local pharmacy starts locking up everything in the store, are you still going to shop there? I'm just curious. Let's go to NBC4.
Today, Governor Newsom announced that California's Organized Retail Crime Task Force has conducted nearly 600 investigations statewide, leading to more than 1,000 arrests this year.
And because of the growing smash and grab trend hitting stores all across Los Angeles, big box retailers have had to step up security to keep items safe. NBC4's Camilla Rambaldi joins us live from Compton with more on the latest store chain taking action. Camilla.
Robert and Kathy, we're here in front of this Rite Aid on Long Beach Boulevard, and we have learned that at least 2 of these stores have started to lock up items, and this one here has locked up nearly every item under lock and key.
From paper plates to candy, Ziploc bags, and soda.
Ziploc bags. We're locking up the Ziplocs, the sandwich size, the quart size, and the gallon size. Paper plates, the Dixies. You need an employee's permission if you need paper plates. And then they might ask you, wait, you're not 25. Why are you still buying paper plates?
From paper plates to candy, Ziploc bags, and soda. Items under $10, all locked in store shelves.
It has got to be so frustrating to be a Rite Aid employee. I should know. I have a Rite Aid near me, and everyone who works there looks really pissed off all the time.
This is what you will see the next time you walk into this Rite Aid in Compton on Long Beach Boulevard.
I guess it's better that way. Yeah, it's better that way.
This is video that was shared on TikTok.
Oh, my God.
Showing the locked shelves at a Rite Aid in South Los Angeles.
We can't even touch nothing? This is crazy.
One shopper we talked with.
You know, there are certain things where, maybe it's the supplements, maybe it's medication. You want to look at the back of the bottle to see what's in it. Sometimes you want to compare because something has an active ingredient that you don't want. Well, you can't do that. You got to have the employee come over. And if everyone in the store needs an employee for every single thing, that means you're going to be waiting quite a while. This started with razors. And I kind of understood that because razors are expensive and they could be used as a weapon. But now it's even the paper plates.
One shopper we talked with who didn't want to be identified telling us it's a step that could help deter crime.
I think it's a good idea for them to put all this stuff in here. Hopefully.
Of course, the way to deter crime is to treat every single person who shops there like a criminal.
Hopefully, I don't see too much crazy things anymore with this.
An employee at Rite Aid telling us the secured shelves started going up in July. Last week, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a smash and grab bill into law that would add harsher penalties for large-scale felony theft offenses.
Well, obviously, Rite Aid isn't too confident in that legislation because they have been putting up these cases more and more and more every week.
The bill is aimed at cracking down on retail and property crimes. Back here at Rite Aid, some say waiting to get what you need could take a little longer.
Because I have had a problem with a different location where it takes almost 10 minutes for them to actually come and help me. But this location, that's a little bit faster.
And some.
They have to let you in, to get it, but, take a little while.
Don't mind the wait.
For me, it's no problem.
I have reached out to Rite Aid for comment on the security changes. I'm still waiting to hear back. In Compton, Camilla Rambaldi, NBC 4 News.
There you go. The Rite Aid in Compton has decided to deter shoplifting. They need to lock up every single item in the store. We're seeing more and more and more of this throughout the state of California. It's stories like these and having to actually visualize this in your own neighborhood, which might be the motivation behind 71% of voters in a recent PPIC poll saying they support Prop 36, rolling back some of the nonsense in Prop 47. But my question to you is this. You're the consumer. You're the one going in these stores. We frequent our pharmacies regularly. Whether it's a CVS, a Walgreens, a Rite Aid, or a local store, good for you, shop local. If they lock up everything inside the store, will you still be shopping there? I'd love to know. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's start with Ben in Beverly Hills. Ben, hello.
Hello, I've been to that CVS many times. I was born in Compton, and the last time I was there, almost everything was locked up then. And I not only had to wait for other people to get themselves service, I was just in line to check out, and I had to wait a long time there. And I said to myself, never again. I am a customer at Amazon, and I hope the CVS executives are listening, because after, 70 years of shopping at CVS, I'm no longer a customer. I just can't wait that long. So I'll go to pharmacy, but that's it. My time is much more important than that. So buy CVS. I still call you Save-On, by the way.
I still call Rite Aid thrifty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Rite Aid.
All the same. Ben, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. I have been in one of those lines where there's one person working the entire Rite Aid. So if someone needs ice cream, well, now the cashier can't be doing cashiering. And if someone has to hit the button because they need to buy deodorant because that's under lock and key, well, then they got to step out of line. Every time I got to go to Rite Aid, it takes way longer than it should. And this just seems like it's going to be even more inconvenient. And it's interesting, right? Because that guy right there, Ben, lifetime shopper, is now going to online only. He's going to be shopping on Amazon, where it's very possible some of the products he buys may have actually been stolen from that Rite Aid and resold because Amazon doesn't care if people sell stolen goods. It's a wild world that we live in. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. The Compton Rite Aid has locked up every item in the store. If that happened to your local pharmacy, would you still shop there? Let's go to Paul in Saugus. Paul, hello.
Hey, Randy, how you doing tonight?
Doing great.
So, to answer your question, I have walked into CVS near my business many times in North Hollywood. If they have locked a cabinet of something I need, I walk out and I either do without or I go to Costco or wait to get it when I'm at home in Santa Clarita where they don't have that problem.
Well, that is one of the beautiful things about Santa Clarita. And you make a great point about Costco. Nothing is under lock and key at Costco, including those giant handles of Kirkland vodka.
That's true, they are.
They have a really good system. And you know what? It works for them. Number one, Costco is so crowded that I don't think you're going to have an opportunity to steal things, but you got to show that receipt, and they're really good about it. So you hear so many stories of shoplifting from Walmart, from Kroger, from places like Rite Aid. You rarely hear about it at Costco.
No, you don't. They do have it figured out. But once again, it comes down to stealing is a crime. If you prosecuted it, it would at least hinder some of it, if not all of it. So I guess George Gascon needs to figure something out, do something different.
Well, it looks like he's going to be doing that if the polls hold up. Thank you so much for the call, Paul. Hey, all of this might be moot this time next year. 36 passes, Gascon goes bye-bye. You might actually be able to get the deodorant inside of the lock cabinet because it'll be unlocked. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. The Rite Aid in Compton has locked up every item in the store to deter shoplifting. If that happened in your neighborhood store, would you still shop there? 800-222-KABC. Let's go to Eileen in Winnetka. Eileen, hello.
Hey, Randy. Yeah, that happened today. Went to Walgreens, same thing. Everything under lock and key, as well as Smart and Final, by the way.
Even at Smart and Final?
Yeah, all the Tide is behind the glass. All the baby food is behind the glass. All the shampoos. So that's the life we live. And where do you go to get your food?
Well, at some point, if it's that inconvenient, you end up going somewhere else, I would assume.
Yeah, but even Albertsons, you go in there, stuff is under glass and key. You have to call an attendant to bring you a certain pieces of product that they deem is being stolen and you can't have until you call somebody.
It's so uncomfortable. I don't like it. Eileen, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. You know, especially when it comes to a pharmacy, I don't know about you, but I would imagine that a lot of people who walk into a Rite Aid or a Walgreens or a CVS might be people that have a head cold, might be people that might be in day 2 or 3 of COVID, and they need to get some cough medicine, they need to get some relief. And the less interaction they have face-to-face with the employees, probably the better for the employees. But no, what we need is more interaction. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. If your local neighborhood pharmacy locked up everything in the store, would you still be shopping there? That's what happened to the Rite Aid in Compton. Let's go to Morris in Commerce. Morrison, hello.
Yes, what's interesting, I shop at Walmart. Many of the smaller items locked up, and I'll press a button and I'll wait. I'll wait maybe 3 minutes, and I'm out of there. I'm not going to continue waiting for some clerk to come open the door to buy a $10 item. And, you're beginning to see that all over Walgreens over in North Hollywood at Vineland Magnolia closed their doors because of shoplifting and homeless over there. They're completely shut down. It was boarded up within the last couple of months. That's going on. It's all over. It's going to get worse. So hopefully with the new district attorney that they can make changes and people, they can start, the shoppers can be relaxed and start buying merchandise without the fear of theft. And I think it's a lot of the parents that put up the juveniles knowing they're not going to do any prison time. There's no consequences for their transgressions there. They're going to continue doing it until something is done to put a stop to it.
Oh,
So
that's definitely a part of this, Morris. What you've got the heads of these rings, including these gangs that are doing these things. They recruit the juveniles to be what they call boosters, to go in and steal, because even if they get caught, nothing will happen to them. And then they go open an Amazon storefront and they sell everything that they stole online for a massive profit. It's happening all the time, Morris. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. 800-222-KABC, if your local store locked up everything in there like the Rite Aid in Compton is doing, would you still be shopping there? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Daniel in Compton. Daniel, hello.
Hi, Randy. First of all, just got to say, love your show. I live in the city of Compton. I used to go to that Rite Aid all the time. And, yeah, it did have a lot of stuff locked up at that time. And I went in there one day, and everything was off the shelves. I asked them, I said, hey, what are you doing? They're like, are you guys? And so, I went there back another day, and everything, sure enough, was locked up. So that's actually what's going on in all of the city of Compton, CVS, the Walmart. So what I do, I drive to the next city. I go to the Walmart in Paramount where, yeah, they still have things locked up, but, it's not as locked up as it is in Compton.
It's just unbelievable. And it's so interesting, too. We were just singing Compton's praises yesterday because at least they're starting to be able to crack down on the street takeovers by fining people who show up at them as attendees $2,000. But we got to do something to get our heads around this because that is not convenient for the shoppers. And these stores are going to just end up going out of business. And then where are you going to go?
Absolutely. And, I think one of the guys said it earlier, if they're not cracking down on the crime, then, then they're just letting these people get away with criminal activity. And it's just incredible. It's crazy. We got to get rid of that and start, fining people and putting them in jail.
Yeah, if you do this multiple times, if you didn't learn your lesson the first time, well, obviously you need a bigger consequence. And that is what Prop 36 will do if it passes. That's what Hochman will do if he says once he gets in there. We might see some big changes coming in 2025. Daniel, thank you so much for that firsthand account. Look at that. We do a story about the Rite Aid in Compton, and someone calls in who has shopped at that Rite Aid in Compton. That is live local radio, baby. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. The Compton Rite Aid has locked up everything in the store. It doesn't matter what it is. You need an employee to unlock the display case. If this happened at your local store, are you still shopping there? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. In the short span of a year, we went from locking up the socks.
How ghetto does it look that they have to lock up the socks?
To locking up everything in the store. That is what's happening to a Rite Aid in Compton. If your local store starts locking up everything in the store to deter shoplifting, will you still be shopping there? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to our buddy Dave in Whittier. Dave, hello.
Hello, Randy. So this is all traceable, okay? It's traceable to Gascon, who co-wrote Prop 47. It's traceable to one individual who's getting a lot of media attention to this day. We know the cackling, nervous, laughing Kamala Harris because she wrote the deceptive title to Prop 47 also. So she's in collusion with Mr. Gascon there. But can I make another comment about proof that she's also a cause of the national crime increase? There's one person, Randy, who made this comment. Obama confidant and official Susan Rice made this following comment. Kamala Harris has been a major architect and integral implementer of Biden's agenda. And to say so, well, it's dishonest, quite frankly. Okay? And also, she wants to defund the police. Folks, here's why she's hiding that. Because Mr. Obama, in 2022, during the election campaign,
quite frankly,
Democrats. Yes?
Quite frankly.
You did it, Dave. Now I'm totally distracted.
So here's the deal. about defunding the police. This is causing the high crime increase. She is hiding the fact that she wants to defund the police. Mr. Obama said in 2022 to Democrats, it's stupid to be talking about defunding the police because we're going to get defeated. So she's not talking about it. So it's up to us to expose that about her. That's a major.
Well, there you go, Dave. Thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it.
Quite frankly.
800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. If your local pharmacy starts locking up everything in the store, would you still shop there? That's what's going on at the Compton Rite Aid. Give me a call, 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang.
Quite frankly.
On Talk Radio 790 KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. We take your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com. I'll read those in a little bit. randykabc@gmail.com. In the span of a year, we went from locking up the pizza and ice cream to locking up the socks.
How ghetto does it look that they have to lock up the socks?
To a Compton Rite Aid locking up everything in the store. My question to you at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222 is this. If your local store locked up everything in there, would you still be shopping there? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Frank in Orange County. Frank, hello.
Hey, Randy, great topic. I'm in Orange County. It's different here. I'm not saying it's better. It's different. We got Orange County Sheriff, local PD. They respond when there's shoplifting and bad things going on. But I do a lot of business in L.A., and it's really off-putting when I go into a store, which is supposed to be quick, convenient. I just don't go anymore. And that's, I don't know, I'm not spending a ton of money, but that is some tax revenue that these cities they're losing. I just keep driving. I get back to Orange County and I do all my shopping here. And then you have Amazon too.
Yeah, once somebody switches to online shopping, well, none of that tax revenue is going to the local municipality.
And, you used to be able to go up and talk to the pharmacist, and I feel bad for the people that live locally and have to stay locally and shop locally. They're going to be, I don't know what a company like Rite Aid, I think they're just pouring gasoline on their business model and watching it burn. It's just they're going to lose in the end. You have mail order pharmacy now. You have online pharmacies now. It's just, I don't know. There's not going to be a need for those stores anymore if they just keep going the direction they are. They're going to lose more market share. The cities are going to lose tax revenue. It's a lose-lose situation. Lose, and the community loses too. So I don't know what people are thinking about. I don't know what direction we're going, but it's a bad situation. It's really very off-putting, and it's almost like if you're going into a prison commissary to pick something up, you never really get to touch it. I think they have better security there in the prison than they. So
that is a very good point.
Great topic, Randy. Thank you so much. I always enjoy the drive with you. Appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks so much for the call, Frank. And thanks so much for the modesty. I understand you when you said Orange County is different. It's not better, but we know it's better. Thank you for being so modest about it, though.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Orange County is beautiful. But you know what? I'd like to say that this is one of those rock bottom moments, and it very well might be because things are going to get better. Prop 36, which is going to correct a lot of these mistakes, has 71% of voter support right now, according to the latest poll. That's a game changer. Gascon getting out, that's a game changer. That signals to the thieves that are doing the stealing that leads to locking up everything that it will not be tolerated anymore. Hopefully. Let's go to Rose in Marina Del Rey. Rose, hello.
Hello, Randy. I'm not going to ask you how you're doing because I know you're doing great. Here's what's going on over here here's what's going on over here in the marina, where Mr. Looney doesn't think anything happens except yachts get on fire. I just heard his news blitz there. We have a Ralph's, and they've put a caging on one side of the aisle and on the other side of the aisle. So you can go in and look at the products, but you can only get out with the products if you pay for them with the cashier that is sitting, who's no dummy, by the way, who's sitting at the front of the aisle. And then you ask her if she can charge your milk and bread and whatever else you bought. And she says no. You have to go to the front of the store with the other checkout people. She can only check you out with the stuff that you got in that aisle. Is that ridiculous or what?
That sounds like the most inconvenient way to go grocery shopping I've ever heard.
No, there's no way. There's no way. Then there's a CVS in Molina. So you go down there and you need something that's locked up. So you call the guy over, and he unlocks it, and he gives it to you. So he leaves you there. So you say to him, you go back, you go find him, you go, do you go up front with me at the checkout? And he goes, no, I'm too busy for that. What's the point? I don't understand.
This is insanity.
No, just online shopping. I mean, it's nice to get out and things, but you could take a walk instead of just going to CVS or the market, because it's just way too inconvenient. I mean, the woman wouldn't even take the milk or the bread. She said, no, you got to check out at the front of the store. I said, but I'm not you with the checkout at this part of the store. And she said, no, I can only check out people who bought something in these two aisles. So you see people in the aisle with a shopping cart filled with stuff who are now pulling the stuff out of the shopping cart that they got in that aisle that she monitors. And then you check it out and pay for it and then have to go through the whole process again at the front of the store with your other stuff. Now, I don't know who came up with that, but
that makes no sense. It's insane. Rose, thank you so much for sharing. That's such a great story. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'd start going to that Costco in Marina Del Rey, although you'll be paying for a lot more because everyone always overbuys at Costco. But that's so inconvenient. Of course, it was a Ralph's. Kroger. I don't like the idea that the way to solve the problem is to treat everyone who goes in the store like they're a criminal.
How ghetto does it look that they have to lock up the socks?
800-222-KABC. If your local store locked up everything in there, are you still shopping there? Let's go to Homer in Upland. Homer, hello.
Hello. No, I would not go to my local store if it locked everything up. But I'd like to ask, I hear people saying things are going to change when you change the district attorney. I'd like to know who's going to do the enforcement on these stores when these 6-foot young bucks, they're not your Norwegian tourists who are doing the shoplifting either. Who's going to enforce that and put them in handcuffs?
Well, you would like to think that if Gascon go bye-bye and Prop 36 toughens the laws, then the handcuffs will be off law enforcement that has been told to stand down in these situations. I'll give you a for instance. We had it as state law up until just this summer that because of Prop 47, a police officer could not arrest a shoplifting suspect unless they directly witnessed the crime. Now, the legislature, in response to 36, passed that law and changed that law, but up till then, you could only give somebody a ticket unless the cop was the one who directly witnessed the stealing. How much sense did that make?
I did not know that.
It's wild. Thanks so much for the call, Homer. Appreciate it. It's what we do here. We educate. And we have a little fun. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. The Compton Rite Aid has locked up everything in the store, even the thrifty ice cream sandwiches.
How ghetto does it look that they have to lock up the socks?
If your local store locked up everything, are you still shopping there? 800-222-KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We got lots of emails here. You can email me at randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. Susan writes in and says, I've been waiting for stores just to be a scan and fill store. The store portion only has empty boxes out, so you can read the ingredients. You use a scanner to zap the product you want, and employees pack the items in the back and bring it up to you after checkout. The store will decrease in size because the stock is now all in the back. Very well could happen. Apparently, there are pharmacies in Chicago where it's like an old school general store. There's just a window, and you give them the list of the things you want to buy. But at that point, if we're making it that inconvenient, people are just going to shop online. It's just going to happen. It actually reminds me when I was a kid and I used to get video games at Toys R Us. They wouldn't sell you the actual box. There'd be a little ticket, and you pull out the ticket, take that to the counter, and then they get you the video game because too many snot-nosed brats were stealing them. At Toys R Us, well, none of the Toys R Us's exist anymore, but the one I used to go to as a little kid was right there on Sherman Way and Woodley, and now it's a Vallarta, a really good Vallarta. More of your emails and calls coming up next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. If you'd like to email us, you can do so at randykabc@gmail.com. Judy writes in and says, hey, it looks like Rite Aid has online shopping and they deliver same day. So maybe she'll just do that, which means there won't be any brick and mortar stores coming back. Let's go to Brandon in Torrance. Brandon, hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Okay, sorry. I have you on speaker. Is that okay? Does that work?
It's fine. You do you, buddy.
Okay, awesome. So I feel like, this radio show is pretty in support of punishing criminals rather than the victims. And I just feel like stopping the shopping at a store because they're trying to protect their assets is kind of directing, the energy at the wrong source. Like, you're supposed to direct that energy that, strive to do something about it towards the criminals, right? I mean, I just feel like it's kind of, I guess, hypocritical, for lack of a better word, to stop shopping at a store and punish the business owner because criminals have it too easy to steal from that store. But
well, ideally, what we would do is we would go after the criminals and we would have deterrence. And hopefully with Prop 36, hopefully with Gascon being out, we would have that. The issue is what we've decided to do instead of that is make it so everyone in the store gets treated the same way, like a criminal. Maybe that's equity. I don't know if people should stop shopping in the stores. What I do know is that if we make it that much more inconvenient, people are just going to stop because people's time is valuable.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, the world doesn't stop for anybody. Reality is reality. Yeah, that's a good point. I just I kind of like to listen to the show and formulate opinions from like as many sources as possible. So thank you for sharing that side of that with me. I didn't really think about that before, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Randy.
Well, thank you so much for listening, for calling in, for formulating your own opinion. That's what we like to hear here. We take opinions from all sides. We like to have productive discussions on this show and occasionally play silly drops.
How ghetto does it look that they have to lock up the socks?
That one's my favorite. Hey, programming note, I do this show every day from 5 to 6. I'm also the co-host of the John Phillips Show from noon to 3 every day here on KABC and from 11 to midnight on KSFO in San Francisco. Guess what? Johnny's going to be out for a couple of days, so you're going to hear me flying solo noon to 3 on Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So if you like what you're hearing here, you're going to hear 3 times as much every single day going up till Thursday. Then Johnny will be back. And then Friday, we're going to go down to Universal Studios and go over the edge at the Hilton. So that's fun. Thank you all so much for listening. If you've ever missed an episode of this show, go to kabc.com/newsblitz. Go to the Apple Podcast app, iHeart, Spotify. Search for the I did it again. Search for the News Blitz with Randy Wang and hit subscribe. You can download all the episodes. You could write a review. You could share it with your friends. And this show's on YouTube.
Do a Google on YouTube.
Search KABC News Blitz on YouTube, and you'll see the whole playlist. You can listen to every single episode on YouTube, which is my favorite platform, and you can share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate it. More people knowing about this show so they have the opportunity to listen live and call in. That's what we want. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC.